Good evening, YouTubers. This is Brandon again with the Red State in 08 Tennessee Outdoor Forum, coming to you with a knife video. So my wife and my mom and my mother-in-law are piled up in the living room watching The Bachelor tonight. Blech! Can't stand The Bachelor. It's the most hideous waste of television next to anything that Bear Grylls has ever come out with. And I decided I have my own version of The Bachelor that I think would be awesome. I would like to see The Bachelor meets Naked and Afraid survival. Yeah, we're going out in the woods. We're going to find love and dinner of grasshoppers over a fire built by friction. That's my idea of a cool show. I would probably watch that. Hey, 20 hot chicks naked in the woods, one dude. You know, I would volunteer to sign up for that. Anyway, what I'm coming to you today about is I had a couple of questions. Some of the verbiage that we use in some of the videos that we've made in regards to the locking mechanisms on knives. And I've talked about different locks, traditional locks, liner locks, frame locks. And I had somebody ask me, which is a really good question for somebody that doesn't know a lot about knives. They would ask me, well, what are the different types of locks that you commonly see? And that's what I want to talk about tonight in this video. Real quick, is just demonstrate the different types of locks that you see. And probably what we're most familiar with, if everybody has an old buck knife or something of that nature, is the old traditional spine lock. You still see these very commonly on knives like Spyderco knives. Still use the spine locks. I don't have a Spyderco with me at the present time to show you. We had previously reviewed the Spyderco Endura 4, which does have a spine lock. Great lockup, great purchase. I have here a pocket knife that is, I believe it's a Boker. It's a Boker trapper, but it is a lockback trapper. A traditional spine lock knife will look something along this line, where you will have the locking mechanism on the spine. To close the knife, you have to press in the locking mechanism, and I can't get it on the camera to show you, but once you press in the locking mechanism, you can then close the blade. And that's the most traditional type of knife. Several years ago, they started coming out with different designs, and one of the more common designs that you see will be a frame lock. And the frame lock is what I demonstrate here with this Kershaw Oh-So Sweet. The frame lock is a lock, or the liner lock rather, is a lock that is built inside of the liner of the knife. As we know, the liner is the metal part of the knife that is inside of the handle frames and the handle scales. To close this knife, you simply press the liner in and you lift up on the blade to a closing position as such. Not really a great need to put your hands in the way of the blade or anything of that nature. A more improved and what I feel is a more secure frame that is made is called the frame lock. Now the frame lock locks where the entire frame of the knife actually displaces to hold the blade open. I feel like you get a sturdier open and a sturdier purchase with that, that the frame does hold the knife open better. And as you can see, there's no give in this knife. There is no play in the blade whatsoever. Frame locks typically are going to have the best lockup that you can get, and they are tanks. It works the same, real similar to a liner lock, except the frame is actually part of the handle. And this knife is a little bit stiff. I've not used it very much, but you press in the same way. Press in, and once you've pressed in, you simply fold the blade shut. There you go. One of the real cool lock that I wanted to show you was, there's a designer, and I don't have the name. I'll put it in the comments once I look it up. There's a designer come out with a lock a few years ago that was called a puzzle lock. The puzzle lock I have here is displayed in the Combat Ready Puzzle Darko, which I am going to review this knife. What is cool about this knife and the lock on the knife is that by pressing this lock as such, using your middle finger to press the lock, you can depress the lock and close the blade, never putting your fingers between the blade and the knife. And I'll demonstrate that again. Press and close. My fingers never go between the knife and the knife and the frame there. So there you have it, the 4 kinds of locking setups. I'm certain that there are other knives out there that have different locking setups other than the ones that I've showed. What I wanted to show these for is that these are the 4 most common representations. Now, with the Puzzle Darko, that one also, I would consider it a liner lock. It is, for all intents and purposes, a liner lock. It just simply works a little bit different. It displaces and locks the blade open in a different position than your traditional or standard liner lock like in the Oso suite. If you guys have any questions or comments, please hit us up. You can also check out our website at www.tnoutdoorforum.com. Have a great day, guys.